Good morning, everyone. Matt and Dan here. This is Coffee and Questions. It seems extra early today, Dan. It's probably every Monday. And I think if you go back and watch these videos, like in succession, it's me like, is it Monday already?
How can it be Monday? Oh, no.
I just feel like it's extra early today. Maybe I'm just extra sleepy. It was a later game for me for hockey last night.
Mm-hmm.
I blocked some pucks, so I'm extra sore today. So I'm just
adjust my camera. I feel like I need too much headroom. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, looking good, Dan. Hey, I hope you're all doing well. Dan and I do these things every Monday on YouTube every Monday. On Facebook, we switch between our main Facebook page and our Switcher Studio enthusiast group on Facebook. If you're not a part of that, you should join if you've been using Switcher for a while. And we just do these to answer your questions, help you make better live streams. So if you have
Matt
a question,
and I, we drink our coffee in the morning, so we figure we can chat with each other and chat with you all.
Yep,
answer your questions.
Mugs.
Yeah, we got our. That's a story for another day. How these came to be, but fun time.
It was a gift. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments here, and we'll get to them. We do these for you. So,
that's you.
That's me. Hello.
This one right here.
Good morning.
That's you, and that's also you. Whoa.
I did it. Well, because I have both of them pulled up.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Tim and Claire. They're modding the comments there, helping you all. They're going to post some links when you need to see them. They'll probably direct you to the feature request link. Chances are.
Yeah, but always good stuff to just learn. And like we're here live to answer Switcher questions, but we can answer live streaming questions as well. And there's
absolutely.
There's quite a few other questions too. If you guys just want to know whatever, let us know. Good morning to everybody hopping in here. I'm seeing more people hopping in. So it's fun that you can see like who's watching on Facebook and YouTube. Like, good morning.
Yep.
Here, Misty and Vinny. Hello, guys. I see Switcher Studio says good morning. Hi, Claire.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Claire.
Before we hop in the questions here, I want to give you a little heads up for what we're planning for a live stream here in the next couple of weeks. Dan and I are going to be meeting this week and doing some video, pre-recorded video. We're going to be doing an iPhone comparison stream. So as many models of iPhones as we can get connected to Switcher Studio, we will. We're going to just talk about the differences. We've already started making a giant list of what those differences are. Dan, you booted up. I don't even know what model that iPad is.
I have an old iPad too. It was the first thing that ran Switcher Studio. And for those who've been around for a long time, like this was Switcher Pro, if you remember back in the old days of what we labeled the prices and plans and stuff. So yeah, that was Switcher Pro. It didn't really I'm gonna have to do some more tweaking. The camera didn't actually show up. I just got black video.
It took about 4 hours to even turn on from charge. So.
Yeah. It's very old, very old.
So the plan is to do that live stream Wednesday, the 13th of April. It'll be an afternoon stream for us. So I think we do 2:30. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, 2 or 2:30. I don't know.
2:30 somewhere in there. I can't remember what we put down.
We have 2:00 for the actual.
Okay,
time.
2:00. That's what I meant. 2:00, obviously. We'll be doing that. We'll probably be doing that on YouTube and then in the enthusiast group. So,
yeah, Vinny over here, speaking of those, saying the 13 Pro Max is a game changer. Yeah, that's actually what my camera is here. Don't go back and watch me explain the different lenses on last week's Coffee and Questions. Don't go watch that.
You got a round one. You got I can only imagine the difference there from a 6S Plus to a 13 Pro Max. It doesn't seem that long ago that the 6 was out, but
I remember when the 6S Plus came out. I think it was actually the 7 was the first one where it was just like, holy cow, these are really cool, really exciting. So
it's crazy how they've improved.
Yeah, our goal is to, if there's something you guys want to see us test with these cameras too, let us know. We'll do like different lightings and indoor, outdoor. We might try and get something with a lot of like flashing lights or movement or something to see how it holds up in those situations too. So, we'll get funky
Looking
with
forward
it,
to it.
figure something out.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be really good. Okay. Looks like we do have a question here on YouTube from Video Live. It's from Alex. Some days ago, I have a strange problem. A pop-up appeared on my iPhone SE that let me know it was impossible to connect.
With the Galileo.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Matt, I'll have to show you. We're going down the memory lane here. The Galileo, for those who aren't sure, it's an older device, but it was basically the first robotic camera for iPhones and iPads. The guy who made it's basically a dock for your iPhone, and the guy who made it was always on business trips, and he had a 3-year-old son who'd run around. So he built this kind of gimbal, if you will. It's not really a gimbal. It just is a motorized camera that you can move back and forth with. So he could follow his kid around the room. So those aren't being supported anymore. It might be that it's at the end of its life.
Well, Alex is saying they don't have a Galileo, so it's just a strange pop-up. Period.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just heard. Oh, it's impossible.
That is very strange.
Let me know. Impossible to connect with Galileo. Okay. Try turning your Bluetooth off and back on. Is what I'm going to try for that. Are you connecting like a DJI Osmo? If that's the case, then it could be an issue with that. But the long story short, the Galileos are things that could, in theory, still work. We have one in the basement. Maybe we'll try and set one up, Matt. I don't know. But yeah, don't use those. It might be a weird Bluetooth trying to connect to it or something. So I just try resetting the Bluetooth on that device. If you're not using like an Osmo Mobile or something, so you don't need to use the Bluetooth, just turn the Bluetooth off, and that should fix that problem. If not, write support@switcherstudio.com, because that is a
very strange,
weird thing popping up, and we can hopefully help you from there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were like trying to use Galileos, and I didn't read that last bit there.
Trying to avoid them.
This one's here is kind of similar to it. Is it possible to connect 3 PTZ cameras to Switcher? So the cameras you're going to connect are going to be iPhones and iPads. The pan tilt zoom cameras you can use are the Osmo Mobile gimbals that I'm talking about, or we mentioned before. They allow you to remotely control the pan and tilt on the Osmo, and then of course you have zoom within Switcher already remote. So that's how you would connect multiple PTZ cameras. You can't just like connect a third-party camera that's not an iPhone or an iPad. Like if there's like a pan tilt zoom camera like that, that's not possible right now.
Going back to Alex here on YouTube, they said yes, they have a DJI Osmo 5.
Okay, so they're using an Osmo.
That's super interesting.
Okay, I might like open my camera, open Switcher, and see, because I know where that thing is, in there. Okay, I'm gonna show you something here. Here, let me do this. I think I might know. I'm gonna start Switchercast on this device so I can share it with you.
Okay.
Give me a second here, guys. Dan's iPhone. I need to screen
we'll
share.
just wait. It's no problem. Hey, while Dan does this, if you haven't already seen it on last Friday, Dan was a referee for a little chairball competition we had in our office, and yours truly, Asia, were commentators for the whole thing. It's on YouTube. If you haven't seen the video, it was a lot of fun. It was
pretty fun.
I said some things that weren't probably true about Dan. I'll let you find out what those are.
All right, I'm just going to create a kind of janky multi-view here for us to see it. hopefully this kind of does it. Let me get rid of that one. And I might have to get rid of this too. Okay.
Yeah, Dan's doing the whole lot right now in front of him. He's doing a whole lot.
So
all right.
When you open up, come in here to, this is the 3 icons up in the top left. Come up here and then go to DJI Osmo Mobile /Galileo. And notice at the bottom, there's that Motor Galileo or DJI Osmo. Make sure you're on the DJI
interesting.
part
I didn't
there.
know that was the thing.
That could be something. Otherwise, like I said, I would try restarting your Bluetooth, reset that connection with that gimbal you have, the Osmo Mobile, and I think that's probably going to solve that problem. I'm assuming that's not going to happen a lot. If it's happening multiple times, like I said, email support@switcherstudio.com, and we'll take a look at that for sure.
Yeah, he said it wasn't the first time for the strange problem, so it must be happening often. Yeah, check that out. Let us know if that fixes anything. Definitely not something I've heard of or come across. So Dan, I'm glad you knew what was going on there.
Yeah.
Or possibly going on there. Awesome. Hey, that wasn't too bad. You did a good job. It wasn't. I wouldn't call it janky.
Okay. I was just like, oh, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look. I'm just going to go for it, and we'll do it.
It's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. All right, here. Let's see. You see any questions there, Dan?
I'm just going through reading some of these.
Oh, you guys rule. Oh, thank you. Here's a question on YouTube. What cameras are you using? iPhones? See that one there?
Yep.
Yes. Dan is using the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Is that right?
Yep.
And I am using a Canon M50 that I have hooked up through my computer. So we call in. Dan sends me a link. I just make sure all my stuff's hooked up and ready to rock and roll.
Yep. You can check out remote guests for how we do that, because Matt's over in southern Indiana. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, so we're not like far away. But like I said last time, there's a river between us.
Yeah.
And yeah, just send him a link. He's able to open that link. Anything that you can have show up as a webcam can be used as that source. So like you said, he's got his setup. That maybe Matt, maybe if you don't mind, after we're done here, I did recently I posted a video of my setup. If you want to just take another video of being like, hey, here's how I'm bringing.
Can I clean my desk off first? Is that okay?
Yeah. No, we won't make it. Not a problem.
It's here somewhere. We gotta get through all this stuff.
I do want to do that. Claire, if you're watching that on YouTube, I think we need to start a thing of show us behind the scenes of your shot. Like so everything looks very professional on this side of the camera, but what's behind your camera? That's what we need to see. I want to see
you can see in my shot here, like I removed some shelves behind me here. There's some tools on the floor over here. I had to move some blankets off this bed behind me. Like, it's not a bed we sleep on. It's just like my kids lay there to play video games at the TV behind me. So they leave a big mess. I've moved so many dishes from back there. So if you have children, you probably understand that they like to leave their detritus behind them. So yeah. behind the scenes, like not clean
exactly. It's like, all right, show me what it really looks like behind your camera. But yeah, that's how we're doing it. Good question. Jim's asking, will we ever be able to use the super wide lens on the iPhone 13 Pro? I'm pretty sure we have that ability, don't we? Am I losing my mind?
I thought you could.
What happens if I do this? Should I do it?
You absolutely should, because these are where the best things happen.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I don't hit the 2x. I'm going to do the 0.5. So here's the wide angle at my spot. So yeah.
There's not a wider one. I don't have a 13.
I don't know if there is a wider one or not, but there could be. Let me go back to the one. I thought that was it. If it's not, let me know.
Yeah, Jim, let me know. Let us know.
I can show you how I did that too, if you want to see if that is what you're talking about. So in Switcher, when you have that source live, if you come up to this camera icon up top and click on it, mine's just going to flip back and forth, but it'll come up with a list of all the lenses that you can use, and you can swap between them there. So that's this button up here. and whatever camera angle is live, or if you have the preview window open, it'll be whatever's in the preview window.
Perfect. Yeah, that's not what you. Oh yeah, there you go. I think he said yes, please. So, awesome. Yeah, that if you don't know, then you're just you're being shown. That's how I was. I thought that was just selfie cam when I saw the icon. But yeah, being shown is super helpful.
Good.
Hopefully that's what you meant. Excuse me. All right. Is there any way? Hello. Here is one from Jeff Branch on Facebook. Is there any way to charge the iPad and use Irig?
Okay, that is going to depend on the devices you're using. If it's like the Irig Pre that just has the Lightning adapter that you're plugging into, no, you're not able to. However, if you have one of the Irig Pros that has, I think it's the MIDI output, it comes with a USB-A, so like the big rectangle input, like the standard USB. And if you plug that into, again, like it depends on the main device you're using. If it's an older iPad that has the Lightning, you'll need the Lightning USB camera adapter, and you'd plug the Irig into the USB-A on the Lightning adapter. I'm explaining this. I'm like, do I have one within reach?
You probably do. Someone? You always do.
I know I do. I'm just like, do I have one like here?
Check that drawer over there. Check that drawer.
I don't think I have one right here.
Where's your bag?
It's over. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to leave the camera for a second. Can you handle it, Matt? Handle it by yourself?
I think so.
All right, I'll be right back to show you.
All right, everybody leave. Oh, Jim, I can answer your question here. It looks like the selfie icon. If you click that, it will bring down a little drop-down menu, and you can click the 0.5 to zoom up. Hopefully that'll help you. See, he did have one.
I don't have the Irig, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, but you at least have the adapter. Okay.
Let me get more stuff. Let me see what I do have in here that I can show
Dan,
you. Dan,
it's like the bag of holdings here for Dan in electronics in that backpack. I'm always shocked at what he's prepared to pull out of there. Oh yeah, I have 2 of those in here. No problem.
He called it my Hermione Granger bag, and as a Harry Potter fan, that was like the nicest thing someone's ever said to me. So here, this would be kind of similar. So if your Irig does have the USB-A, so it's going to look something like this. This is just a different audio adapter. This is a Sabrent adapter. Let me get a little further away so you can see. And then I have here, this is the multi-port Apple adapter. This one is for the USB-C, but they do have a Lightning version as well. So if you're able to plug your Irig into that USB-A, then you have either Lightning, or this one, as you can see, has the USB-C that you can use. And that's how you would charge it and do it at the same time.
And I don't think you mentioned this, Dan, but it is very important to mention, like, to use Apple branded adapters. They have some type of microchip in there that can be updated. I see a lot of people using off-brand ones, and they have issues with it connecting.
Or they'll work for a little bit, and then they won't. I mean, like, I can show you. I've got like some, I don't want to call it junk, but I've got some of those adapters in this bag here that might work, but probably won't.
And they might work sometimes. So just if you want the most reliable, stick with Apple. You will spend a little bit more, but you are, it's going to work for you, and it's going to continue to work instead of having to buy, 3 of the same one over and over. And I saw someone in the group say, "This is my 3rd one." I'm like, just buy the Apple brand. Just buy the Apple brand,
please.
Yep, please do it. All right, we're gonna hop over here. Great question. That was a very good question. Hopefully that answered it for you. I'm gonna hop over to YouTube. It's from Carved Woods. Jason, he says, "Is there any way to screen share a computer screen, not a Mac?"
I need to find that one. Yes, you can. Hopefully, what did you say this one was?
On YouTube from Carved Wooden Spoons. I didn't read it very well.
I don't see it. I don't see that. Well, here it is. Got it. First of all, hi Jason. I was on a call with you a little bit ago, I'm pretty sure, and I think I was at least. I was on someone who was using Switcher to do some carving. So, is there a way to screen share a computer screen, not a Mac? Yeah. Switchercast is available for both PC and Mac, so you can bring a PC screen in just fine, no problem. I can show you if you go to switcherstudio.com and log in with your, it's in the upper right-hand corner. There's the login button. Use your same email and password. So I have that over here. If you come down here to downloads, you'll see Switchercast right here for Mac and for Windows. So that's how you come in and, get your PC screen in to Switcher Studio.
Yep.
You can also,
and you also can have your. I could also share my screen as well, like as a remote guest. So
I was gonna say you can also do remote guest. You're 100% correct on that.
Great question. Okay, we're gonna hop back over here to Facebook from Martin Brown. Jeff is just underneath the one from Jeff. How come the guest links come with audio but cameras don't?
Oh man, I don't see these.
Well, it's below that link.
I mean, I guess I don't really need to get it. I think it was up on mine a little bit. Like I think that's why I got confused. Like since I have Facebook and YouTube coming in at the same time.
Oh yeah. It's probably there's a lot to look at there. I gotcha.
But yeah, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to just say the question again, and we can answer it.
Yeah. How come the guest links come in with audio but cameras?
I found it like right after you said it. There it is.
I need to read it slower. That's the problem.
Yeah. No, I just it's just the way that the cameras are able to connect. Remote guests is a different connection that's happening. So we're discussing some possibilities of remote audio on iPhones being brought in. It's going to be a big overhaul if we do something like that. So again, like I'm not saying like, oh, look for it on like an upcoming release or something, but we are exploring some options for those as well. Remote guests is a good way if you just need to have your audio come in from, somewhere that's in like the same place. That's a good spot to do it. So good question.
Awesome. Misty here on Facebook says that the 13 Pro Max has a setting under camera in phone under settings. Needs to be turned on for the super wide angle option. So maybe that's what needs to happen there. I don't have a 13.
Wait, really? I'm going to have to check that out. Has a setting under camera in phone under settings, needs to be turned on for the super wide angle options. I'll check that out. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm living in the past here with my 11. It's still working.
I'm just scrolling through looking for other questions, see people commenting on our live stream we did on Friday, and I appreciate you all. Yeah. It was fun. It was something silly to do, fun to do. Fun. Yeah, thumbs up for the chair ball.
Okay. Let's see here. Any more questions? Over here on YouTube. Some questions just came through. So to use the USB Lightning port adapter with the Sabrent, with the TRRS or TRS, not sure, connected to a mixer via the yellow and red AV jacks connected to an iPad 7th Gen.
Use the USB Lightning port adapter with the Sabrent and a TRS. Okay, I'm not entirely sure here. I can tell you how I would get out of a mixer. The AV jacks, so yellow and red, it would be red and white. Yellow for RCA is video. So if it's a yellow one, it's probably not going to work well. It's the red and white ones, I think.
Yes.
Those those. I feel like there are some, like there's like a Behringer mixer. You might be able to find it if you go to the audio section of our help center. That's support.switcherstudio.com and you search audio. I don't have a link or what that's called, but it had like it's basically a USB input that could work with this. That would take that RCA out. The Sabrent here has the headphone and the microphone and the headphone input. This is TRS input, so you don't do TRRS input into this. But in theory, I'm pretty confident that if you got one of these, dropping it, if you got the Sabrent adapter and you did RCA out into the pink, which is the microphone input, that will work with the multi-port or the Lightning USB camera adapter. Is how you would do that. Alternatively, I would say if you have like another main out, try and void the RCA if possible. Even if like there's an XLR output on your mixer, you can get like an XLR splitter. And now that I've got this out, I can show you, you know, something like this. So like that's where your normal output would be, and then it would split into the two here. So you can, you know, split that signal and send it to where it needs to go, and also to switcher. That's another thing you could attempt or check out.
Cool. Hopefully that works out, and hopefully that makes sense for you. If you were using the yellow, that may be a big cause of the issue. Ouch.
Dude, you right over there?
Yeah, I rolled over my headphone cord, and I was a little stuck.
No, I've done that so many times. My headphone cord here is so long. There's so much to it.
I know. Yeah, same. It's like,
so I just wrap it up. Yeah, just wrap it up and stick it in my lap. Be like, you'll be all right there.
Usually, like wrap it around this thing on my mic, and then it keeps it at least from being rolled over. Okay, here on Facebook, Leanne is asking, can you talk a bit about selling with switcher versus using just video?
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. We're looking to do some updates to help out with
a lot. We'll just say there's a lot of stuff coming to help you. And I'm personally not a live seller. But there's
we've got some exciting things that's going to be in one of our new updates coming. We'll talk some about here. But that being said, you know, one of the big things that Switcher allows you to do is the cards. So you can set up some really easy shots and can get really creative with it. Let me drop some of these graphics here, and I'll go over to Switcher Studio. And if I come up here to this card, which has got the new there, you can kind of set up your shot as you're selling things. So if you go to the camera as a background, you can have your camera behind you. You know, like if you want something like this one here, you can put 3 images up of like your products, and you can put your text in here as well of what's there, your logo in the upper corner up here. And then you're also on screen talking about it. So instead of just having to hold everything up and whatnot, you can get a little bit more involved with it. We also have you can come in, not on this one, but you can come in to, I guess, live selling examples and check these out so you can get some ideas. We also have these timers down here, which I think are really exciting to be like, hey, we're going to be doing this sale for the next 10 minutes, and you can put a timer down so people, you know, there's that sense of urgency, or, you know, people are aware of a coupon or something that's going on.
Yeah, before you go on too much, Dan, those timers are editable. You can adjust them a little bit. I think 10 is still the max, but that's what we use for our chairball tournament, to have a timer on screen counting down. So, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's mainly it. Just check that out. If you search live selling on Switcher Studio, or around that, we have some videos around that as well on the YouTube channel. So I see you're watching here on Facebook, but if you go over to our YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Switcher Studio. You'll see some live selling examples and things you can do with it as well. So yeah, good question.
Yep. And then we didn't mention the brand profiling as well, which will help you.
That's very true.
Just the ease of use, like using your colors, using your brand.
Brand profile, for those who aren't totally aware, allows you to set your colors and a logo, and these will show up for every single one of your you can set these for every one of your lower thirds or multi-views or cards that you're setting up. So very useful. Set your primary colors. You can toggle between them. You can automatically fill out your social profiles as well. All that good stuff.
Yep. Awesome. Great question. And honestly, stay tuned. I don't ever know how much we can say, so I'll just say stuff is coming, and as soon as we have permission to share things with you all, we'll let you know.
Yep. I see.
Big things are coming. Big things are coming. I'll say that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think whoever switcher, maybe Tim, I think because I was on Facebook, Tim sent them a link. So yeah, thanks for that as well. But yeah, check that stuff out.
Okay, here's one on Facebook from Nav. Hi guys, had an issue with plugging in Irig Pro to iPad from Sound Desk, but sound was picking up on phones from all 3 different angles. Is there a way to disable audio from phones?
I had an issue with plugging in Irig Pro to the iPad from Sound Desk, but sound was picking up on phones from all 3 different angles. We might need to get a little more information about this because I don't think that's possible. We can't be getting audio from those different devices unless you were using remote guest to bring those sources in which case you can go into the audio tab here in Switcher. It's this one down here. And when you're running remote guest, you'll see your guest here. You can also go to the video chat and you can mute people there. So that's if that's what you're doing.
Interesting.
Go there and check it. Otherwise, you might need to just email support@switcherstudio.com with some more information, and we can take a look and see what's going on with it.
Yep. Okay. See if we missed anything here. Okay. Just
I know, guys, and I will say, we're trying to hit as many of these as possible. If we miss your question, we're sorry.
Oh yeah.
We'll go through. You can always ask it again in the comments, and we'll try and catch it because there's a lot of comments coming through, trying to hit them all. I'm also, as we're scrolling through, seeing things like I see Misty here has one talking about some ideas for Facebook comments and stuff. If you have those sort of feature requests, please, use the feature request link. I think we can pin that to both Facebook and YouTube probably in the comments so people can find that. But, still feel like if we don't answer it, that's probably the best option. But still ask those things in here because we might have a workaround for it. This one, not really right now, but it is a cool idea. So just want to add that stuff in.
Martin wants to get some branded Bluetooth headsets.
Okay. I mean, talking about this, man. I tell you, I'll take the cord all day. Like being wired in, call me old school or something, but that's how I always prefer to have it. I know like Bluetooth is a cool technology and works well. For me, I'm gonna hardwire things in when I'm able to.
No, I only use infrared for all of my.
There you go.
I had an old Nintendo controller when I was younger that was infrared that you had to point directly at the system. It was wireless, it was
like an old school Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo? Like NES,
old school, like NES. Wow. Yeah, and it was infrared, but you had to it was it was very advanced technology for back then, but it was really frustrating because it didn't work as well as you wanted it to. If you when you're a kid, you're playing, jumping and flopping all around, so it never worked well for me. So Bluetooth is much better.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim says he missed the comment about the 13 Pro Max camera setting when he got distracted.
Okay. You want me to just show that again really quick on where to go to adjust that? So have that camera be active in the live window, or you can have it in the preview window if you use that. But you notice that now this camera up here has the rotate on it. If I tap on that, it's just going to rotate here. But if I'm using, the iPhone 13 or something that has the multiple angles, that's an awful angle. It's going to show up with a drop down of all the different angles that you have, or all the different lenses that has. So like when I go to the 13 Pro Max, I have the 0.5, which is the wide angle lens, the 1 and then the 2x, which is the macro lens. And I can switch and choose which one of those I want to use. Hopefully that helps. If you have
and then possibly there's a setting you need to go into. Yeah, that was what Misty told us, is setting it on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to mess around with it as well. So if that's what we're talking about.
Hey, real fast before we get to the next question, if you haven't done so, please go to the App Store and give us a review. We want to make this app better for you all. And we also want others to be able to find this app and use it. So if you haven't done so, please go to the App Store, give a review. I'm guessing someone will drop a link here in the chats. So head on over there. You would be doing us a big favor. So
yeah, just be honest too. We don't like don't give it 5 stars unless it's a 5-star app.
Cool. And
Chris, let's get back to when's the next office ball tourney? Next April Fool's Day, probably.
No, we have another Louisville startup that wants to bring their team against one of our teams.
Is that right?
Yeah, Zach's startup.
No,
he showed
let's go.
His workmates, and they want to have a tournament.
Well, let's just say I better not be refereeing that one, or else.
I don't mind being a commentator. That's for sure. That's more of my jam. Never was good at any type of basketball, hoop ball. Awesome. So yeah, if you just join us, ask your questions here.
I see this one. Is it possible for Switcher to grab Facebook, YouTube comments when using Rtmp through Restream? I don't think we can do it through Restream, but we can if you're going directly to Facebook with Rtmp. We can grab those comments. Sorry, I had to think for it. However, just know that we do have multi-streaming in Switcher Studio now. So if you are trying to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time on your basic account, right now you can do that. Just check out the multi-streaming stuff and you're able to do it. You can go to both of those places, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like if you're on the main Switcher Facebook page, you're seeing us here. And if you went over to Switcher Studio or youtube.com/Switcher Studio, you're going to see the exact same live video. And so we're live at the same place, and both of those comments are brought together, and I see both the apps inside of Switcher right here.
Perfect. I'm going to jump way up, Dan, because I just realized we missed a question here from Timothy Wright on Facebook. He said he couldn't go live, had an error message that said unsupported protocol. I'm sorry, you're going to look. You found it. Good.
Most likely, I believe this is what's happening here is I'm assuming you tap the go live button and you're immediately seeing that. And what's happening there is either the event has expired or you have the wrong Rtmp values in, or something like that is happening. So I'll come over here to this this interface for Switcher, and what you'll want to check out is go to the Outputs tab and make sure you have the blue check mark next to the correct destination you're going to, if it's YouTube, Facebook, multi-streaming, whatever it is, and also make sure that you have the correct name.
Founder Hunt, yeah.
Yeah, wow, I did that in 2019. That was pre-COVID. This is my test account, which is why that's probably still showing up there, and why I can just mess around with it. So yeah, make sure that you have those absolutely correct. Both those show up correctly. And if you're using custom Rtmp or something, go in and make sure that that the Rtmp key and stream URL are completely correct. Can't have extra spaces at the end. I recommend setting it up through the Switcher Studio dashboard for that as well.
Yep.
Good question. I hope that answers it too. If you're running into something different, let us know. But I'm almost positive that's what's going on here.
Looks like a lot of people like chords, or it's very polarizing. Like it's either all chords or no chords.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really does depend. I just like, the thing is I've never in my life had to say, oh, I can't use my headphones right now because the battery's dead. Never had that problem.
Well, batteries are getting better and better, Dan. Come on. Jump in the future
but they're going to drain eventually.
Okay, that's true. I enjoy my Bluetooth headphones, but when I'm here at this desk, I use corded ones. Yeah, we're gonna go here for just a little bit longer. It seems like questions are kind of winding down. Chris wants to know why they're suddenly showing up as a Facebook user. I didn't know either.
I'm very confused as that too.
Are you on a different device? Are you on a different?
Because we're on the main Facebook page. I don't know on this one. Like I was very confused as that as well. I'm like, oh no, Chris is only a Facebook user. He's lost his identity.
Yeah. I have no idea. Okay.
Vinny says multi-stream works awesome, especially with the reinforced Wi-Fi on.
Yeah.
Fun fact, actually, when you're multi-streaming, we're only sending one stream out. You're sending a stream out to our server, and then that server is syndicating and sending it out to the two destinations. So while you might think you need extra bandwidth to do multi-streaming, you don't. It's going to be the same as if you're streaming just to Facebook or YouTube. I think reinforced Wi-Fi just being on in general is very helpful. So something I recommend.
But also using reinforced is totally fine, and good in a lot of cases as well. Cool. Here's another one from Timothy. Does the alternate ingest have to do with the message error unsupported protocol?
I'm not entirely sure what the alternative ingest is. Could you give us a little more information on that, Timothy? That could help us out. I don't. If this is like talking about maybe the multi-streaming, I don't think it's going to change anything. You'll just have to make sure that both of those values are correct. When again, like you have the correct Facebook event and YouTube events selected, or the right channels. And if you're scheduled beforehand, you got to make sure that you're not way past the scheduled live time, or else that thing will go away. Yep. That event goes away and you're not able to stream to it anymore.
Yep. Cool. Well, Dan, I think we've kind of hit the end of our questions.
I think that's most of them. If we did miss your question, or you have more a question afterwards, if you're watching this, on YouTube or Facebook after the fact, you can catch us live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in next week for a different kind of live stream, and that'll be Wednesday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. So, Matt, I'll let you kind of take it away here and give us our call out. Absolutely.
Here. Yeah, I'm Matt, and this is Dan. And thank you all so much for your questions. We love doing these things for you, and hopefully you're taking away some information you can take back to your live streams just to help make them better. If you haven't given us a review in the App Store, please do so. If you haven't joined our Discord, we have one. We'd love to see you there. And get yourself some coffee and then more coffee. So, Dan, thanks for your knowledge. Everyone, thanks for your questions. And we will be back next week. If we didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. Just tag us here in this post, or you can wait until next week.
Glad you got it.
Yep. Oh, great. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later on. Peace.